Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Think Rugby podcast. Final review of the Six Nations. That's it. It's all done and dusted. What we're going to do with ourselves for the next fucking ourselves along for the next year. How are you doing, Andy?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I mean, on the one hand, yeah, I'm sad that the Six Nations is over. On the other hand, I have to be honest, I'm quite happy that it's over. Scotland have just, done what Scotland do every year.
Scotland's been Scottish again. What's needed is a bear shite in the woods. It's not been the best of the campaigns for Scotland in particular. Individually, some players, yeah, you could have a case they had good tournaments, such as we'll leave that later on in the episode. But overall, as a team, what have we done? I mean, a lot of teams in a way have went backwards. If you kind of think about it, once we start to digest it down and get into the nitty gritty of things, a lot of teams have kind of went backwards. Some teams have the illusion of that they're going forward, but we're not actually too sure whether they are going forward. It is just the fact that some teams are regressing and getting worse. So I guess we'll start with one of the main teams that's regressing and getting worse. In our humble opinions, Ireland. They went to was it they went to Rome? It was in Italy, I believe. Went to Rome. It as a game, bloody hell! Like first half, tight as you can get. Italy were definitely from a neutral point of view, you'd be rooting for Italy with some of the scores they were scoring, like their tries. Phenomenal. It was just vintage rugby, and I mean, like I say, from a neutral point of view, you'd be definitely rooting for them. Ireland just looked quite flat. Like they still had that kind of final edge. Like they were staying in the game and leading most of the game, and then, of course they won overall. But it was just not an Irish performance that you would have seen last year in Six Nations. I think, and this is me, bar the Scotland game, which that Ireland beat Scotland in near the start of Six Nations. Ireland actually haven't been that dominant a team, that good a team in my opinion, since when they lost to England. That was the first game of their demise, and it was before then was when they are actually a force to be reckoned with, in my opinion. What are you thinking, Andy?
I think I'll say what I've been saying for the whole campaign since the bet South Africa. In South Africa, like Andy Farrell's went away, they have been such a tamer animal to what we've experienced over the last 5 or so years with them. You mentioned it there, the Italy game. Italy, yeah, they've not really done anything all that great. Again, proved myself right. I thought they overachieved last season, but in this game, in this year, it reminded me of the Scotland-Ireland game at the Aviva 3 years ago. Italy were close, could have gotten something, just that bit away, close but no cigar. On another day, Italy could have gotten something, but that game summed up their tournament.
Yeah, I guess nearly, man. They've got a long way to go still. Some quality players. I don't know what it is though. I don't know if it's just because you kind of look. I'm not going to go through every single player position by position, every position in that player for player, but they've got extreme talent in most departments. Front row, maybe just behind Barfischetti, who probably my loose end of the tournament. Other than that, the hooker and tight head position, not as strong. It's not like proper recognisable names. Whereas if you think of the England team, you probably be able to name like three hookers just off the top of your head. So Kevin Dickey, Jamie George, and Theo Dunn. There you go. That's three at the top of my head. So it's like when you say Italy hookers, not too sure. Is it Nicoretta? Is he even a hooker? He could be a prop actually. But there you go. My point's valid. My point kind of stands there. Although it's just me, but I'm sure you kind of feel the same. Yeah, your audience listening at home. So they're lacking some big names, which kind of leads on to a big heavy influence, and a big kind of engagement. Like Salamo, I mean, I think he had a decent tournament, but he's played a lot better. And be brutally honest.
Yeah, I'm just chuckling because he literally came on, I think, because Sam Negri went off injured. I can't remember what it was for. It was, yeah, he was definitely injured. It wasn't an HIA. And the first thing he does is slaps down the ball And it's, oh no, I did it by accident. It's like, no, that is not by
Absolutely not.
accident.
Absolutely not.
Ireland get the penalty and go and score, and that really kills the game, takes a sting out of it for them.
Mm-hmm.
Italy's day gets a lot harder after that, and I think before that incident happened, Italy should have scored a try, and that could have made a completely different game.
By margins, yeah. But overall, look, Italy put up a great fight, but even Ireland, who are a bit off the boil just now, they managed to kind of see past them. Yeah, I wouldn't say with relative ease at all. It was a bit of a challenge, but it wasn't proper threatening. I would say the last 10 minutes is where Italy blew it. I think it was.
Oh, okay.
I'm being brutally honest. Like, if you look at the score line, it's where Italy blew it. I remember sitting down thinking, Italy can do this. They just got they had not long got a couple of points in that, and I was like, they could generally do this. And then no, Ireland just managed to pull through. I think it was a couple of possibly a penalty kick from Prendergast when he came on, just kind of cleared it away, put the game out of sight, kind of opened that gap up in the scoreline. It was just too much for Italy, and then the clock ran down, and that was it. But I definitely think the last 10 minutes was what Italy could have needed to kind of proper go for it. I guess they did go for it, but it just wasn't good enough. And it kind of just shows the going from like a good team that they are to like a great team who would kind of manage to pull back into games such as that one. Hard lines. They never finished last though. I think they got finished with 5 points altogether. Ireland finished with 15 or 16 odd. Ireland finished the campaign third overall. For a brief moment, I think they were they would have been first, briefly, very briefly at that. They would have been first, not before England took on Wales at the Principality Stadium.
Yeah, I said last week Wales by 1. That's why I'm trying to hide my face.
I think the points difference was what, maybe, was it? Oh, was it definitely over 35? It was
Was it
phenomenal.
not? England scored something like 68 points or something. I was like, this.
58, I think it was 58 points. But it was a record defeat. I
Oh.
record win against the Welsh at the Principality as well. Do you know what the thing is though? Like, see, like the first half, it was really, really even. Like in my opinion, I say it was even. Blair Murray could have had a hat trick in the first half. Blair Murray played out his absolute skin. He's so unlucky. I've never seen somebody so close to score not one, not two, but three tries and not actually score any of them. Or maybe scored one. Oh no, the one he did score got disallowed. So yeah, what an unlucky chap, like. But he definitely kind of gave Wales some sort of hope, or albeit it was just a little sliver of hope, but he gave them some sort of hope. It's kind of funny because you listen to like Danny Kerr out of the commentary. He was a bit apprehensive and he was a bit not sure how it was going to go. He had a bad feeling in his gut in that. And Sam Warburton was saying like he's got a good feeling it's going to go well for Wales today. They've got to break the streak. In England just absolutely shattered them out the park though. It was laughable, even albeit it was very painful to watch. You were very wrong. Like I knew England would win, but I didn't think it would be by that much. I did think Wales put up a bit more of a fight. The lack in that world class 10, Anscombe just did not seem like it's very hard to do it when you've got the inexperience and maybe that's quality in your team. But I showed that I'll get onto that later. But he looked very clueless and just didn't know like where to look and what to do, and just it was just terrible, 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 terrible. The one saving grace from being a Scottish fan, like or a non-English fan, should I say, is England never won any trophies this year. Here you get all like the little kind of like slide kind of Mickey Mouse. Well, I wouldn't say Mickey Mouse trophies because like you get like the Dundee Cup and everything, but they never won a single trophy this year, apart from the Calcutta Cup. It's the only one they won, I think. Could be wrong. And the only, I guess they gave Wales a thrashing, and that was the only other thing. Calcutta Cup, I gave Wales a thrashing. They did not deserve to finish second. I am actually like flabbergasted. I just don't know how did they even get to a position to finish second. They beat France, the eventual champions. They beat Scotland, who Scotland dominated them like England most of that game. Okay, they absolutely humped Wales, fair enough. Italy defeated again quite comfortably in the end, and then they scraped a loss to Ireland. So then they lost one game against Ireland, which again I think with the Ireland game they just ran out of time because they were coming back well into that game and just ran out of time in the end, which is a very scary thought. Because imagine if they did get a result against, even get a point and a result against Ireland I don't think they've never got a try bonus point. So if they've got a try bonus point and a losing bonus point, they would have been level in points with France, and who knows what would have happened come points difference towards the end. Very, 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 very fine margins, but also scary to hear and to see as well from a Scottish fan perspective. I don't know
It
if I could.
just
I couldn't even step outside if England won it. Honestly, like I would be hibernating for a week. It would just be awful.
I am completely scunnered with Gregor Townsend, but I would be absolutely even more completely fucking scunnered with him if England won that tournament.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I guess you can blame us in a roundabout way because we were the one that should have seen him out like comfortably as well. But hey, I guess that's rugby sometimes. Well, what other stand-up performers were there in that game? I mean, Roebuck, he did alright. Freeman at 13. Like, I mean, as a fair shout to put him at 13. It worked. He played very, very well. It's a nice little option. I think Freeman's played himself into a Lions jersey, if I'm being brutally honest. If he wasn't already, the fact he can play 13, that versatility, especially through the week in the club games. So he's definitely going to be knocked on there. Uh, I
The
believe.
Curry
What?
brothers, maybe. I thought they had another
Oh,
solid
mental.
game.
Oh, crazy, crazy good. Honestly, I don't know which one. Can't tell them apart from the number on the back of the shirt. But other than that, like honestly, phenomenal in both of them. Will Stewart impressed me, and he got. I seen. I think it was Rugby Planet or one of these rugby pages. They put Will Stewart as the tight head of the tournament, and I couldn't agree anymore. I would 100% think he was a stand-up performer in the tight department. I think he
Even
had
above Xander Fagerson.
he had Xander Ferguson on toast some of the times in the Calcutta Cup game. I mean, he was so strong. I know that's a lie. He didn't have Xander Ferguson. He had Scoobin because he was on the other side. Of course he was. He had Scoobin an absolute toast like, and I was shocked when I seen it. I think Scrimmager, he's such a strong guy, big strong guy, but he's also got the feet. That's one thing that he's got over Ferguson is the feet and the hands. And for a prop, I mean, it's a very, very good trait to have because not many other props can really say the same unless you're from the Southern Hemisphere and you've got the All Blacks jersey on. But I'm being brutally honest. You don't see Ferguson sidestepping backs and doing little offloads and whatnot. You really don't. But so it's kind of refreshing to see. But again, it's just a shame that it's an English player and not like a Scottish or anything else. But yeah, some standard performers. Blair Murray, Jack Morgan, they'd be the two Welsh guys I'd have in the Lions tour, if any. Folk make a shout for Daffy Jenkins, but I don't think he had that good a tournament. Same with Will Rowlands. Floopy Faltown did okay, but again, he's just past it. What is he, about 45 years old? That is about 35 years old now, but he's just past it now, unfortunately. But he's still very good in that Welsh team. But does that kind of show the kind of state that Welsh rugby's in just now, or does it still kind of show that class is permanent?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you take the reins for the Scotland game if you wish.
So I will be honest. By this point, I needed to watch the game back yesterday
Why?
because in the pub I was kind of more interested in the liquids I was consuming rather than the game itself.
And what about the beer?
Way!
Was it with the rugby lads or was it?
No, I was at the local.
Oh, aye.
Yeah, no, though Scotland lost, it was probably the best they've played all tournament.
First half, aye.
Even the second half, I thought they were playing pretty well.
I think
Considering they were up against the French Le Bombe squad or whatever, I thought they were pretty good. Yeah, just a few notes I took. I thought that the France, it was clearly an attempt by France to rile up Ben White, and this was before that incident. And yes, it was a red card. The referee bottled it, as did the TMO.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I don't know. I think it was maybe to try and slow the ruck speed. The France, I thought, were really struggling with the speed of the ruck in the first half. I mean, Ramos is just a fucking rat. Yeah, but He's a world class goal kicker.
That's one of the most articulate bits of journalism I've ever heard. Ramos just a little rat.
Just a fucking rat. He's a phenomenal player and
He is
he's
phenomenal. Aye.
brilliant.
Aye.
But yeah, he's
It
I
was
said
it
what I
was poor
said.
because he's the one that kind of like pushed Ben White over, and then Mavaka, what he did, yeah, like straight red card because it's a non-rugby incident. It's just it's ill discipline. It's or what's the correct kind of law terminology you'd use, but it was completely just like unsportsmanship. Just showed it a face. I can't believe they mitigated saying there was no force. That is honestly unbelievable. He drove his shoulder into somebody's face on the floor. Straight red card every day. He actually
Well,
he
yeah,
should be cited. He should be cited.
yeah. It's always the same whenever Scotland go to the Stade de France or whatever it's called to play France, and the TMO. I don't know what it is. They always favour France whenever that game is in Paris. Now, fair enough, the TMO was playing funny buggers against Scotland last year, but yeah, I mean that there was no. It was a red card, obviously. There was no replay of Kinghorn's try that wasn't a try at the
I
time. We had to
but
see the footage at half time. Now, don't get me wrong, correct decision, but
but
get the TMO on that.
yeah, 100%. They kind of flew past it quite quickly, and I was a bit like, what's going on here? And there was a bit of confusion there. It was a bit shit crack. That generally would have been try of the tournament. I'm saying that now.
Yeah,
That would have been try of the tournament. Fine, speak about fine margins. Kinghorn, well, fair play to Kinghorn. He's played himself one into the lines. I'm 100% certain. Like I honestly would bet my mortgage that he's on that Lions tour. And two, I do have a mortgage. And two, I think he fully deserves to be a nomination for Player of the Tournament, which he is, which was just announced about an hour ago, as of
yeah, something like that, yeah.
so.
I was going to say, I mean, we can easily cut this out if need be, but would we, if backed by popular demand, would the listeners want to hear our combined Lions 15
Yes,
after the Six Nations next week?
100%, 100%. What we'll do is we'll have a think. You know what? Excellent idea. Because in the comments they can absolutely slate us, slate us with what we're thinking. But I think it's a brilliant idea. Would you do a bench as well, or just 15?
Oh, the bench as well.
Go for it. Why not? That's
I'm,
it.
I'm, I'm ready for the comments. Yeah, bring it.
You're not ready. You're going to get absolutely slated. I'm
My face looked
nah, to
bothered.
be fair, you know what? Actually, I think it'll be quite. Ours will be relatively similar, but we won't tell each other. We won't tell each other. We'll just keep it as it is. Keep it
Keep it on the down low.
down low.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually like the first like weekend after the Six Nations. Okay, you've got the domestic leagues. I'm not really that bothered about it. Plus, it's the local up Helliar, so I'll be busy with something else this weekend. Yeah, no, but I think it would be something good just to try and kind. Of,
Give
it's
us
it's like
give us
the
a week's content.
lift the spirits, as they say.
I guess so.
Anyway, back to Scotland. I dropped my pen. Gregor Brown, phenomenal. I have to say, I don't know why it took him, Townsend, so long to pick him instead of Johnny Gray.
Yeah,
I've been bored of Johnny Gray since week 3.
I agree. I think he, in terms of second rowers, a very dynamic, explosive second rower. You've seen him taking it right up to the line, like, and you notice when likes of Gilchrist and that taking the contact, he never makes significant yards, but Gregor Brown was, and he was really punching that gate and getting through that gain line, and it was just pure athleticism. Yeah, maybe a bit less wear and tear and miles on the clock, which is what we need. And yeah, he's a young lad. I think he's only about 23 years old. He's got a good future ahead of him. Local Aberdeen lad as well. Played for Gordonians. Then he moved to Super Six and then signed for
Glasgow's with now, I
I
think.
think it is Glasgow. I think it is Glasgow actually. So no, he's a really quality player. Actual Scottish through and through as well. Do you know who his cousin is?
Blair Kinghorn.
No, it's me. Nah, Kinghorn. I wish it was me.
What to say? He's like tall and big and like not scared to make tackles. So how can you be related to him?
Opposites. Opposites.
Oh, 1-1.
So right, yes, Blair Kinghorn, cousins, which does make perfect sense. But apart from one's ginger, one's not. Okay,
Pretty
so
much.
would you say it's again? I ask this every week, but do you genuinely believe that this is Townsend's time up?
I do, but the SRU will not get rid of him. Fucking Gilchrist came out earlier today and said, no, Gregor Townsend's our man. He basically is a victim of his own success. And I'm like, no, we've never had any success. We've either finished fourth or third in the Six Nations. We'll go back to it. England, as fucking basic as they were this year, they finished second. France, okay, they scored the most amount of tries and probably were by far the best team overall, etc. Won the tournament. This has been a big missed opportunity. It's the same as 2021. Wales won it. Scotland, if they pulled their act together, should be up for it. We have regressed. 2 years ago, it's like, yeah, fair enough, good enough shot, but this is clear regression. Townsend has to go.
Say less. Say less. That's what I say about it. Okay then, I guess to finish off, here's something for you. I'm not going to give you a top four or nothing. Actually, you can give me a few kind of like candidates just off the top of your head. Who do you think deserves to get player of the tournament?
Well, this was actually part of some quickfire questions that I had written down for you.
Oh, okay, ask me then.
Yeah. So my pick for player of the tournament was Louis Bielbiere.
I'm stuck with two, and he's one of them. So I'm going to, for the sole reason of content, I'm going to say Tommy Freeman.
Okay. And did he score in every single game?
Yes,
A try in every single game?
yes. Did you have the commentary on? And he did it before BLP. Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Whatever. Louis Bielbiere scored me a lot of points for my fantasy team, so he's my pick.
He also did score more tries, or either the same amount or more tries than Freeman, I believe. And he also probably scored a lot better tries. The amount of like grubber throughs and regathers, not just for him but for his teammates as well. Honestly, like some kiddie, like I think it's about 20 tries in 19 or 20 games he's scored now. Something ridiculous like that, and he's only 21 years old.
Jesus.
Scary.
Like, where did I go wrong in life?
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking as well. At least I've still got my hairline, unlike some folk. Moving
Yeah.
on. Moving on. I would say like Kinghorn. Kinghorn. I think he did have a good tournament, but you can't kind of compare him to Freeman or Bielberry. I don't think. I think they are both the two kind of shining lights. I'm trying to think of a fourth one. For some reason, I'm trying to think of an Irish person. I just seem not to be able to.
Well, I hope you're not thinking Van de Fleer, and you can clip this up if you want. He was dog shit
He was
against Italy.
he was a bit of a ghost most of the tournament. Apart from the Scotland game, he was a bit of a ghost most of the tournament. I feel he was quite quiet. He had quite a quiet tournament. It can't help him, but former World Player of the Year. I'm fact check me on that. No, he's
Yeah.
former World Player of the Year. Yeah, no, he had quite a quiet tournament on the whole. Uh, Here's one actually. Mo Farah, France inside centre. I think he was unreal every single game. Mo Farah can also play in the wing. He did that a couple of times last season for last Six Nations, I think, or the season before. So he's quite versatile in that aspect. But honestly, absolute unit. He's he's just a slightly taller, more slender version of Movaka. Literally, very similar. Uh, just physically and feature wise, but crazy talent, and especially in like such a stark French side, he was a bit of a superstar. And then, but of course, Bielberry, I feel is probably going to win it overall. Being honest, just
Probably, yeah.
but he does deserve it as well, and that'll be 2 years in a row back to back that 21-year-olds have won Player of the Tournament because Menoncello won it last year at 21. Be Bale Berry if he wins it. Be quite interesting.
Nice. Yeah, I'd forgotten that he had won it last year.
He still had a good year, a really good tournament again this season, but again, Italy just weren't quite fully on the boil the whole way through, so maybe it wasn't quite noticeable. But him and Brex again played fantastic a lot of the games. One of the best centre partnerships in the world, in my opinion. Okay, is that all your quickfire? You got anything else?
No, I've got two more. You've kind of maybe answered this already, but Scottish Player of the Tournament.
Kick on. And
Okay.
and here's a little dark horse one for you. I've got two: Dave Cherry and Jamie Ritchie.
Okay, neither of which I wrote down.
Oh, I know who you're going to say. To start with, Hugh and Henry Jones.
Yeah, it is.
I
He's
thought it would
played
be.
very well, I think.
Again, he's one of the players I can guarantee will be in the Lions tour. I 100%.
Starting.
I'd say.
Okay. And then final quick fire question. Who would you say has been coach of the tournament? And if you say Gregor Townsend, I will fly down to the Broch and I will shoot you in the head.
I'm in Belga. I would say I know. Actually, no, that's a lie. So you can't, because Caseda can't be it because they went backwards.
I mean, this was meant to be a quick fire question, and you've really taken the time. And I'm not editing this either, by the way. You know, it's a quick fire question.
Steve Borthwick.
That is actually who I wrote down.
Is it?
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I really do not rate Borthwick as a greatest of all time or whatever, but he has gotten England, as basic as they have been at times, he's gotten them to a World Cup semi-final, lost, and were, I would say, unlucky to quite a energy hungover Springbok team. And he's gotten this team second through horrendous play, and I'm like, I don't rate him, but you can't help but respect the results. This is a results-driven industry.
Yeah.
He's gotten England second ahead of Ireland.
They just grind out results, and I mean, if you get fuck off for finishing second. Well, actually, I should because they've not won anything. But they
Well, they won the Calcutta Cup.
They won the Calcutta Cup and the Hump Wales, so it's only two things. But I guess they've managed to get the Calcutta Cup, which is progress, because it's been a long time since they managed to do that. And also finishing second behind a very, very strong France team, which they beat. You've got to remember.
Yeah, but that was the most day off of days off for France.
Still grounded out a result and won.
Who am I to argue?
Mm-hmm. Is that all your questions? We've got one more.
Yeah, that.
Yeah,
they weren't really quick fire, but you know it is you, and you're not very quick with questions, so you know.
Well, some things I am, some things I'm not. I'll leave your imagination to think about that. Right, okay, let's go. I'm getting carried away now.
Right, so we'll sign off then. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to this week's episode. We will be back next week with our Lions predictions, which is going to be based off of our bias and also the form of the players in the Six Nations. Do you want to check us out all on social media, all that stuff? Everything will be down in the description, all the arts, etc. Zav, do you have anything to say?
No,
That's right. No. Goodbye, everybody.
See you later.